Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the TC Round 2 2024 closing event. I'm so happy to see so many of you here. We have a lot of people online as well. Hello to our mentors and mentees who are joining from online. So I guess we'll get right into it. I'll get started by introducing myself. My name is Eleos Zanu. I'm from the Republic of Benin. I've been living in Finland for about 14 years. My background is in hospitality management and in social work. And I've been involved with Think Africa since 2017, co-coordinated the Youth Educational Performance Program while it was still under Think Africa before it became a thing of its own now. And I'm happy to be project coordinator stepping in for Sophia while she's on maternity leave. So today we decided to have a conversation about mentorship programs and their role in integration, especially given the changing legal landscape around employment and integration. It was good. We thought since mentorship programs so far have been organized separately, it was good to gather some of the people who organize these mentorship programs and discuss what has been done, what have been the challenges. And it's crucial for this conversation to happen with those who are participating as well, so that we can know what's the real impact that it has actually on integration with immigrants. So I'll start off. I won't take too much time. I'll hand over to Elizabeth, who is our moderator today. Elizabeth is a career coach at at The Shortcut and has also been part of the creation of the Think Career Mentorship Program. She actually coordinated the pilot project. So yeah, without any further ado, thank you, Elizabeth. Oh yeah, you have that. I'll hand this over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I need to introduce myself? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Arkan Aloef. I'm working as a skills development manager at Startup Refugees. So basically, I have 2 master degrees, one in engineering, one in business. So my passion, between these 2 professions. We have developed many mentoring program. We will talk later about it. So it's really nice to see you and meet you today. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kwabna Asante, a former mentee of the Think Career. And I arrived in Finland last year, actually, so next month is a year. My background before moving here was in the banking field, working in banking and IT consultancy. And I'm happy to be here to share my experiences. So thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jenny Labart, and I'm the coordinator of Aurora's network. Happy to be here. Thank you for coming. So my background is in academic research and NGO work in abroad and also in Finland. I've been involved in different projects regarding employment, integration, and also well-being and coaching. And mentoring is my great passion, so happy to discuss about it with you. Thank you.
Thanks for the introductions and a warm welcome from me as well. I invite you to come also closer so we can have a cozy conversation since there's few of us here today. I'm also welcoming the people online. We'll take questions from online after the discussion we will have. I'm really happy to see the mentorship program at Think Africa continuing to this day, especially as I was part of creating it back in 2018-19 when I was in the board of Think Africa. So it's very nice to be back. The panelists have already introduced themselves, so that's nice. So we'll have a 45-minute discussion, and then we'll take some questions. Before we start, I'd like to just see a show of hands who has been part of mentorship programs as a mentee, mentor, or organizer here. Okay, so we are all pretty knowledgeable about the topic, so we'll ask at some point about your experiences as well. And also after the panel discussion, there is networking, so we can talk more then. So just to start with, Arkan, you have a mentorship program at Startup Refugees. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Definitely. In Startup Refugees, we have starting the mentoring program since 2018. We started first with companies. So the program was structured to pair a professional mentors from Finnish companies with mentees. So they get really the best advices. We have 5 mentoring program in ICT field with Tieto Every, with Telia, we have with Netlight, and also we have 1 mentoring program with Nordea. And today I have 2 meetings at the morning. I hope that we can get 2 new mentoring in this year, and we will invite everyone to attend if you are interested. So it will be really a good opportunity to join. And the best thing that we are concentrate that the mentors came from a Finnish companies and they are professional in their work, and then they can give really a good advice, good tip, good guidance for the mentees. So they will get really a good support from their mentors. Each program consists of about 25 mentees and mentor. And in total, we have served 122 mentees, and we are really looking forward to increase the number, increase the partners to do more mentoring program, I hope.
All right.
Yes.
Interesting work.
Thank you.
And then how about Jenny with the Auroras network? What kind of mentorship program do you have?
Yes. Well, the Auroras mentoring program, so we offer group-based mentoring in Finnish and for educated international women. So we have a group-based model, and I would say the core elements of our program is to practice work-life related Finnish language, network, and also get information about Finnish working life and enhance the job hunting skills and so on. But the idea of bringing women from different fields and different backgrounds together to discuss about the work-life issues is like the core thing, and enhancing the networking. So, and we have now the spring round starting in a couple of weeks, and expecting to start 14 groups in the capital area, several groups, and also in some other cities in Finland. And we have also online groups. Last autumn we had about 100 mentees and 35 mentors. Maybe something I can say also about our model is that we have also the mentors work in teams. So there's also in one small group of mentees, there are also several mentors. So in that way also we want to enhance the networking and kind of cooperation between the mentors as well. So this is in a nutshell our program.
Yeah. And Kwabena, could you describe the Think Africa program, since you were a mentee there, and what was your experience like in the program?
Okay, so my experience was very good. I joined the mentorship very early on after arriving here, I think 3 months on. So the pairing for me was very good. I think it was carefully done, and our interests were also taken into consideration as to what you kind of want in your mentorship. So it wasn't like everything was decided for you, but it was an interaction with everyone to get us involved as well in the program. So it took all of us involved, and it was a great experience with a lot of takeaways. And I mean, Think Africa is still a home to me now. So happy to continue the relationship as a member. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Now a question to all, and whoever wants to answer first can go, about any success stories from the mentorship programs.
So from my perspective as a mentee, as I said, the Think Africa community is a really open one. Everyone is willing to help you with stuff. So one of the successful things was to collaborate with Data Honey. It's Institute of Research. We took a data analysis project. And if you follow Think Africa a lot, you see that that analysis of employment in Finland over the last decade was something we worked on to kind of put information there as to how things are going on with regards to employment. So for me, being able to collaborate and coordinate and be able to be involved in something was a major highlight for me. And it was part of my objectives to actually have a project as part of the whole mentorship program. So it's one of the successful things I can say. Yeah.
So you got to participate in an actionable way right away.
Yes.
Really good.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's really nice to hear about this experience. For us, the mentoring program, since we started in startup refugees, the employment rate of the mentees was increased to 60% of the participant, which is I'm really so proud of it. It takes like always time, takes effort also from us to develop and to keep contact the mentees even after they finish the mentoring program. But within 6 months after the mentoring program, we could measure the impact and see who get a job, who get maybe a study, who get a training. So we are keeping like really focusing on the people and their journey after even finish the mentoring program. I remember one person who was participating in our 2018 mentoring program. He get a job, he start a business, and now he have a job and business in the same field. He's now a very good coder, working in a big company. I cannot say the name, sorry. So basically, he really get advantage from the opportunities that they have. And this is really shows that the people who are active, who are keeping like really resilience and trying, eventually they will succeed. In one way or another, the doors can be open for them. And this is something that we believe in it. We try also to encourage the mentees during the program or even after the program to keep active and to keep also knocking the doors. And definitely there's opportunity for them waiting.
Really good to hear about this result. Very impressive.
Yeah, very interesting. Well, maybe from the Aurora's perspective, I could address the language issue because it's in our activities like a very important thing. And what we have noticed, we measure collect feedback from the mentees and the mentors, and look like how our objectives of the language progress and all this networking and the knowledge about working life, etc., has increased. But maybe the thing that I would like to highlight is that what we have got feedback from the mentees that they have really learned the Finnish language skills, not especially the courage and kind of going ahead with the Finnish language, like the professional language, because there are not so many places where you can practice, in a nice, relaxed, secure atmosphere, the language, and the language issue is often a bit like a difficult one. So, but in our groups, the women have really felt that they learn to express their skills, their competencies in Finnish. They get courage, and they kind of get the courage also and their own skills to learn the language and go ahead with it. So this is something I would like to highlight as a success in our program.
Yeah. Then what about the challenges in the programs? Who would like to start?
Yeah.
Mostly one of the biggest challenges is the commitment from both sides, like from the mentees side and the mentor side. But thanks God, we are like really doing good. And startup refugees, we are keeping in contact with both parties, and we get a feedback from both of them. So in case of something happen, we can replace the mentor or replace the mentees in case, in some cases, it's a life and there's change in the life always. So in some cases, the mentor have a travel, like some place or some project, then we try to find another mentor. And same wise, go to the mentees. There's some people might have different challenges in their life. so they might not, but it's so rare and it's so like, low number, thanks God. But, we keep putting this in our mind that it might be for some reason their life situation can be changed, and then we need to be fast and, active so we can replace the mentor or the mentees. Other challenge is the funding, of course, because now, the funding situation is getting hard and hard, and most of the mentoring program is done by the NGO. Of course, universities have mentoring, some cities have mentoring, but the successful mentoring program is belong to the NGOs, because we don't have like, these bureaucracies like others. We are so active, we can respond fast, and funding is one also of the challenge that sometimes it hinders us from increasing the number of mentees or increasing the number of mentors, or finding maybe more partners to collaborate. Yeah.
You want to?
You can also share.
Yeah. I'll be wrong not to say I did have challenges and still do have challenges. I'm still a job seeker as well. The challenge is always integrating into definitely a new system where you have to adapt to a lot of things, culture, social life, even interacting with people. That's a big challenge, and you always kind of have to adapt to it. It will be tough, and it's still tough, but you kind of have to pick up yourself from all the challenges and keep moving. So, I mean, for me, that's a challenge, I'll say, just integrating and adapting to something you are not normally used to. So for me, that's one of the challenges. And in all of that, another challenge is actually taking your time. I mean, in the rush of wanting everything to happen fast, you may get overwhelmed. And I'm one not to take that advice, because I'm like, want to jump to the next thing every time as well. So it kind of overwhelms you after a while, as much as you ignore it, but it's actually there. So, I mean, the challenge again is taking care of yourself in all that we try to, I mean, look for and achieve in our journeys. Yeah.
I think it was really nice that you took this issue of also taking care of yourself and kind of remembering being kind to yourself, because it's a process, and things are happening even if you don't get to the right result right away. But things are evolving, and it's always moving, and you never know what happens after, what is in the next door. I would also like to add to Arkan what you said about the commitment issue. It's we also have noticed this in the voluntary sector, third sector field, and this is something we have also talked about a lot in our team and in our community. And one of the things how we try to address this is that, or tackle the issue, is that, for example, we have these mentors working in teams, so that for them, commitment, they can take turns, and there is always the group is always meeting, even if there are sometimes 2 instead of 4 mentors. And also for the commitment of the mentees, what we notice in Auroras is that like a year ago, we had a lot of registrations for our autumn round, and then the groups were formed, and we noticed that there were a lot of differences in the language level, and there were dropouts and etc. So then what we thought at how could we address better the needs of the people who felt that there's something missing. And we thought about again this language issue, and we created a model for a bit lower level of Finnish language, and something that is more even more focused on the language learning and in a practical manner. And this has been a success, and this has been a very, we call it these Auroras language groups, and they have been very, very popular. And this is something, I think what we need in our affairs always to think that how can we, address personalized. I have a more personalized approach and address the needs that are changing over time. And it's always this kind of mental game that we need to do. And this, it's very important to get the feedback from the mentees and the mentors, what they feel and notice in the doing. Yeah.
Flexibility for all kinds of life situations is all the more requested nowadays. So we need to also adapt the programs accordingly.
Yeah.
And good that you have thought about these things and found solutions. And of course, it's always a work in progress. And as situations change, we have to also modify the programs as we go. It's really good to hear of these activities. You touched upon the topic of funding. We will come to that later, but the topic of integration was also mentioned a few times. So I wanted to ask about that. How do the mentorship programs contribute to integration? And why do you think the mentorship programs are important to have?
Okay.
Thanks, really, it's a really good question because most of the integration program now, it's the same. It does not pay attention to the immigrants, level of education or their experience or their profession in their home country. And we think that the mentoring program could be like one of the cornerstone in the integration, especially for the highly educated immigrants, which we think they are the most vulnerable situation. They have highly educated, they have a degree, they have experience in their home country, and some of them, they have from 10, 15, or 20 years. And, imagine if you came for a different country and then you still having the same thing or switching your career to a basic jobs and you don't feel you belong to this field because you have really different experience in a different field. This is one of the obstacles for people to integrate, really good integration. And I think the government, the Finnish government, and we also as NGOs, we need to take the responsibility also to support them and to help them in their professional goal. Because if the person met his professional or her professional goal here in Finland, the development can really be fast. They can integrate well to the society. They can be an effective part of the community. Even learning the Finnish language could be easier if you are working with a Finnish colleague and then step by step. And I see it by myself, many people, we hire them in Finnish companies and their language was really developed in a better way. So I think addressing the needs, as you said, and also focus on the identity of the people, the professional identity on the people, and support them, give them individual support, and not dealing with all the people in the same level, the same education, and the same language courses. Sometimes it's really have people get maybe annoyed or disappointed or losing hope, which is the worst case, and their even well-being start to be to be worse than before.
That's quite a personal experience. How has it helped you to integrate?
I mean, I think you mentioned all of the negatives, so I'm happy you mentioned them. So yeah, totally agree. I mean, coming here and knowing there's actually an integration system and then being involved in it and realizing that this is not enough for me. I'm there was a time I had to spend about over an hour with my coach, telling her no, what you are recommending to me, I don't think it will help me. And it was kind of like a back and forth trying to agree on what I wanted to do and felt like was needed for me. So I felt the integration wasn't enough. So coming back to mentorship programs, I mean, we can all agree that we have right pairings with mentors and they can give you what is actually happening. If you get a mentor in your field, you are able to know what is happening, even what to learn. Information and access to information is very valuable when you are trying to integrate into a new country. So I feel like mentorship programs do play a very crucial role because people do come with lots of experience, and the integration is kind of like a flat level, and you might not get more than you want. And that kind of also sets you back, because as humans, we always want to improve and move to the next thing. So I think mentorship programs in Finland, and they can attest to it, that it really helps in the integration to help us achieve what we have in our minds and in our journeys.
Yes, I agree with you in this, that the kind of get support in your personal goals and really find the meaning in your new settling and new life situation is, and mentorship programs can address these. And also when I think about integration, I think that well, if we think about it as a two-way process or multidimensional process, or how we want to call it, but there is in mentorship programs, there is really there's a connection between the mentor and the mentees. There's a really like I think, how would I say, human connection, in a sense that, and the person is seen, the mentee is seen as a competent person, as a, you know, valued. And I think this is really important when you come from another country, or you move to a new country, and to kind of be seen and valued as a person and as a competent person. And this is something that I think that mentorship relations or programs can address. And also, well, integration is, it's also the society that needs to integrate. So when you have connections between the mentors and mentees and you know, native Finns and immigrants, well, this creates like positive interactions, and the integration is in the both. It's this two-way process, and also the mentors can take, you know, into their context, to their professional or personal context, what they learn in the mentorship, and this kind of, you know, how do I say, the attitude of like valuing diversity is expanded.
So there are employment benefits, there are integration benefits, there are well-being benefits, many different benefits. So I'm thinking of the future of these mentorship programs in terms of the funding that you mentioned, in terms of how they're gonna change to fit the changing needs. Any ideas for joint programs, or what is gonna happen in the future? How do you see the funding availability and the future of your programs? Maybe Jenny could start this time.
Well, the funding issue is, as I said, it's a big issue. Yeah, it's a really it's a good question, because we are in a situation now with the political situation and so on. It's I would say that it maybe doesn't look so bright, the future at the moment. But I think, well, collaboration between the private sector and this NGO sector, new kind of collaboration. I think it's a kind of creating some kind of ecosystem of, you know, this mindset of that we are all working towards the same goal of kind of also the economic situation of the whole country, kind of helping this, what we call, I don't know, kestävyys, I don't know what it is in English, but all these issues, large social issues. And I think it's collaborations. It's something that is needed more and more. Of course, we say it often, and I think we do a lot of collaboration, partnerships, but this is something that, and also when we collaborate between different sectors, it's the language that we use. Like, how do we talk about retention of talents, or do we talk about immigrants? Do we talk about, it's the finding the common language that people can, you know, we share the same kind of mindset to the situation. I think this is important, because
Arkan, you've had many collaborations.
I just wanted to,
experience the company partnership. So
but from my point of view, it's nice to see organizations like yours partner with other companies. I think that also moves the conversation in the right direction. At least people from these companies get to see that, yes, the talent is there from the immigrant and international community. So I think collaboration is a good step for the future to also kind of take the conversation to a whole new level, because the integration is a two-way process. They have to learn and we have to learn and kind of meet at the same point. So it's nice to see these collaborations and hopefully get things going more for us. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for both of you. Yeah, for me, I think like, joint application, maybe collaboration between organization is so important, to achieve like, the goals in case of there's a problem in funding also or in resources. For companies also, we are encouraging now many companies to join the cause, because when we are meeting the companies, we show them that, investing in the immigration or investing in highly educated immigrant, it's really invest in your future as a company. So don't think that the mentoring program will bring value only for the mentees. On contrary, it can really bring values for the companies itself. I read articles from Harvard Business. They show that nowadays the teams, the company teams who are more like international, more diverse, they are more productive, more innovative, more creative. So the companies are investing also in this kind of a mentoring. So the companies need the mentoring program as well as the mentees themselves. So for me, it's like a win-win situation. But there's a lot of work need to be done. We have like many meetings with company, encouraging them. Of course, the companies are willing to collaborate, but in some cases, the funding also, again, can be one of the problem. But the things are getting better regarding the companies. But to be honest, for the public sector, it's not like really promising. The deduction of fund is really going hard, and I think you agree with me. So let's hope that the things can move forward, and the companies and the private sector in Finland really believe that this mentoring can bring a value to them and also to the society as a whole. Let's see. Let's hope.
Yeah, yeah. In my experience as a career coach as well, people want this kind of direct contacts to companies, more personal touch, and the companies would also benefit from this direct contact, because then it's less time for them if kind of the people are kind of validated or verified through some community like this. So it's really positive to see that you are thinking about such partnerships with the private sector, the public sector, joint applications. Really hopeful. Did you want to add something, Jenny?
Yeah, maybe just to kind of add I think about this sustainability issues and all the DI topic in the business, and these are more and more topics that are like important issues. And I think there's even if maybe from the government we feel that there's the funding issue is maybe doesn't look so bright, but at the same time there are trends. Social trends that I think that are giving new possibilities, and like this kind of responding to the sustainability issues in companies. So we just have to find the good way to get into contact and kind of do the collaboration. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of the participant perspective, Kwabena, what would you say? What happens after the mentorship program? How do you move on? How has the experience been for you? And what would you wish anything different or?
I think the basic thing is that for every reason that every mentee joins a mentorship program, the reasons are valid, and whatever pushed you to start the journey should kind of drive you into the next stage, into what you choose to do with it. Because I feel that programs are good enough to kind of give you a direction into the next steps. So for me, the project we worked on was kind of like one of my objectives I planned to do, and then after the program, I followed through with it, even though the mentorship was officially over. So kind of having that same drive to continue moving on. And then for me, it was very rewarding to actually do that because it was actually out of my comfort zone. But with the help of Think Africa, reaching out to a company that I might not have been able to reach out to. So kind of leveraging the whole mentorship program and then using it as a stepping stone to continue to do the next thing. As well, for me, I think I'm still new, so the enthusiasm is still there to keep pushing. I mean, yeah, I think coming from back in Ghana, things move quite fast, and also trying to keep up with the pace here is like slowing back. So one way I try to do that is to stay active and actually go to networking events, because that's where you learn and you get information. And it's a small country, but information and from different perspectives is very valuable, because you can hear the same thing here and there, but in a different way that kind of raises your eye to different things as well. So I think after the mentorship journey, those are the kind of things I've continued to do to keep the pace going, even in the job search. I mean, still the job is not there, but I mean, I keep motivated to continue. There are a lot of things that you can do that are rewarding to yourself, that you can feel proud of, even though the job hasn't come. So, I mean, the same, it's tough, but you just have to, for me, I keep going, and then, you cry, you get frustrated, but I mean, you just have to keep going and keep pushing. Yeah.
Yeah, the flow of information here sometimes it's not very good. It doesn't flow like in other places. So we need to find it through such communities, mentorship programs, whatever it may be. Arkan and Jenny, you mentioned that you have some new programs coming up. Could you share what are the deadlines or the dates of the programs? And what are the calls to action that you have?
Okay, yes. So we have, we have now the mentoring and the language groups starting in 2 weeks, approximately. So the spring round is starting, and there's still time to apply. So if you're interested, please come and talk to me or join by LinkedIn or whatever. So we have this spring round for it. It's actually 12 meetings for these mentoring groups and 8 for the language groups and weekly meetings. And we also have events coming. Actually, we have our yearly big event is the Aurora seminar, which is coming on the 11th of March, where we have different kind of topics discussed and networking, of course. So these are I would say the next events now coming. Yeah.
Arkan.
Yes, at the moment we have the already existed mentoring program. So with Tieto Every and Netlight or Telia, it will start in September this year. But we have a new mentoring program. We hope that we can start it in spring this year. And the third program we are negotiating now with the partners. When it's confirmed, we will announce it through our social media or our LinkedIn profiles, so we can present the mentoring program, who are the target maybe fields for these programs, and then the people can really apply, and then the selection start after the application deadline.
Yes.
Yeah. So keep tuned and watch the social media a lot.
Thank you. Before we go to take some questions, I would like to hear from the audience experiences from the mentorship programs that you've been part of, either as organizers or mentees or mentors. Would anybody like to share their experience?
Don't be shy.
Yeah.
This is one of the tips.
Yes.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Anne. and I'm currently working for Suomen Economit, the union for people with business education from university. And we are currently organizing our first mentoring program. We are almost at the end. And I think one experience that we have there is focusing on students that are going to graduate soon or have graduated recently is the misconception about how the labor market works in Finland and how little education they get about that in university. That's not the topics they're focusing on. So that has actually been taking a big part of what our mentors and mentees have been discussing. And that's been an interesting learning experience. I've also been this autumn and winter on one of the Auras language groups, as I'm learning Finnish also as a foreigner, so I highly recommend if anyone is interested. It was a really good experience as a mentee or participant to be able to confidently try to make broken professional Finnish language in a very comfortable environment. Yes.
Wow. Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Like really, this is like a good question. And in many mentoring program, there's different expectation, sometimes from the mentor part and sometimes from the mentee parts. And one of the things that in Startup Refugees we are doing a training for both mentors and mentees to level the expectation. So for mentees, we tell them that don't expect that during the program you will get a job. You might not get a job, but don't block yourself from progressing even after the mentoring program. And we keep contacting with the mentees even after graduation. We keep inviting them for different career path training that we do around the year. For the mentor, we tell them also what they expect to offer to the mentees. In many cases, we ask the mentees to list what kind of goals or needs they need from the mentor. And then they can tick this kind of need. And then we forward to the mentor. So the mentor will be like really well equipped. They know, we send them the CV of their mentees. So they know about the mentor previously before meeting the mentee, face to face. This kind of behavior, it's really make it more easy for the mentor, that when he came to the meeting or she came to the meeting, they know exactly what the mentees need, and they can support accordingly. But in many cases, if the mentor is not attending the training, one program that one mentor was not attending the training, and then start to think that he need to support the mentees in everything, even in a life situation or applying for migrant or this kind of thing. So then when he contact me, I contact both parties and explain that there's things that you need to draw boundaries. What is the things that you can support the mentees and what is the thing that you cannot? Nobody knows everything and nobody can answer all the questions. And it's totally okay. In some cases, maybe the mentee need more or expect more, but you can deliver what he needs from the beginning. And that's what you can offer for them. If they change in between or they have raised expectation, I think it's not your problem, but you need to communicate clearly to the mentors, to the mentees, to make it so clear from the beginning. Then you can go in a progress with the setting goals in advance to avoid any conflict maybe in the future or maybe a disappointment also. Do you want to
Do you want to hear from her?
Well, Laura meant you can also
Yeah. So
Keep the responses short so we might go to other questions as well.
So far, I've been in 3 mentorship programs, and what I get is that the mentorship is kind of mentee driven. So we as mentees have to make that effort to also push for what we want. And listening to what you said, the person might be overwhelmed. And as I said, sometimes you need to give yourself time. Is it the right decision to go into a mentorship program when you are overwhelmed with a lot of things? That is definitely going to affect how you approach the mentorship program. So from a mentee perspective, I agree that it's very, how do I say, it looks good to get yourself involved in everything at every time, even with everything happening, but you need to give yourself also that break to know that, no, this is not for me now. And so I believe you did everything right, but from a mentee perspective, that's what I can say probably is the thing, like clarifying expectations a lot, and you yourself as a mentee doing your part to making sure that the mentorship actually works. Yeah.
Well, actually, I think I agree with you, and I think you very, very well like highlighted the important points, like meeting the expectations, or being clear about the expectations, and also the training for mentors, and what we have also the kickoff for the mentees, like where we also talk about what are the responsibilities, or what do we expect from the mentees, and so on, and also this what you said also about the life situation, that they can be very difficult sometimes. So in that sense, maybe it's not just the right moment because it needs energy, and you have to be active as a mentee when you participate. So I believe it's very frustrating, and there's a disappointment, but I think that I would also say that I'm sure you did all the good things and so on, but it's contact, it's communication, and all the
So come back again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do we have questions from the online audience?
Yes. 2.5 questions.
Yeah.
Maybe we can start from the half.
Would you read them both? And
Yes,
then,
it's from the same person. They're interconnected. They both are to Arkan about companies, startup reviews, packages. If I can have a microphone for the people in here, what I'm asking a bit.
Logistics are difficult. So the first question is from Miriam. A question to Arkan. How long is the program with the companies, and how often do mentees and mentors meet? And then the second question after this is, do you also know how many mentees particularly get employed by the companies where they were mentored?
Thanks a lot for the question. Normally, our mentoring program lasts for 3 months. So there is a kickoff, there's training in the middle, a couple of events, and there is the career day at the end of the mentoring program. In the career day, we invite the companies participating in the mentoring program, in addition to other companies in the same field who have similar job. So all of these companies, they can share their jobs with the mentees at the graduation. Yes, in some cases, the mentees could find a job in the same companies, but this is not only the only way to get a job. Most of our mentees, they get a job even in other companies, but they get support from their mentors. Their mentors were communicating with them, telling them, sending them a message, there is a job in this company, go and apply for it. It's really matching your skills. So this kind of a professional network, it's what make really a good impact on the people's life. So they can get a job in the same company or in other companies. But one thing we stated for our mentees in any mentoring program, it's not a promise that when you are joining the mentoring program, you will get a job. We are not cheating the people. We tell them that it's a mentoring program. You can get really a good networking. You can get really good guidance, good tip, good practical tip, help you to find a job. It might be in this company or it might be in other companies. Yes.
So that third one, which was in 2.5, is from Deborah, and she's asking, with the NGO's mentorship programs who partner with Finnish firms, what do firms commit to, and what in concrete terms do they do to flesh out their commitment? I guess to like
You can.
Yeah, for companies, mostly they commit to provide mentors. So when we have a collaboration with companies, they provide the mentors for us, and also they provide to host the kickoff, host the training or the session of training, and also host the career day or the end of the program. So committed by resources, committed by having the places for these mentoring events, and also sometimes they can like get small funding maybe for some events also. Yeah. You have any?
Sorry. Well, in our case, it's the events that they offer. Like we have company visits, so it's more this kind of offer. Yeah.
Any further questions from the online audience?
We have a few people who would like to speak. So we had Amara and Ruti. Just a moment. We had Amara and Ruti who wanted to speak, and I can see Amara's hand is up. So would you like to unmute yourself, Amara, and we will do your sound on so that everyone can hear your question.
Thank you so much. And thank you for providing this mentorship program. I think you're doing a great job in guiding the immigrants and helping them. I have a specific question, like I'm a dentist. So is it possible to provide me a mentor from the dental field who can guide me? Because I feel completely lost. Is that possible?
Thank you, Amara.
Maybe I can answer first from the Aurora's network.
She was asking if you can get a mentorship the dentist field. At the dentist.
Yes, concerning the Aurora's group, we have women from different fields. So it's like we discuss more the, let's say, general work-life skills. And so there are people from different fields. When we match the groups, we try to match the mentors with or create groups that have kind of a similar field. But currently we are still having these kind of general groups. I would also say that sometimes it can be useful to network also. You never know, like somebody knows somebody and and so on. So it can be useful also to create networks in like fields, in other fields also. But yeah, currently no like specific field of mentoring groups, but maybe Arkan, you have.
Thanks for the question. And Startup Refugees, we have a career day for people who work in health sector, but it was mainly for general doctors and nurses. But it's so hard to get a speaker from this field because there's a lot of shortage in this field. So it's really difficult. Even for one event, one career day, it was so difficult to find a participant. This is number one. Number two, the health field are so complicated because the people need to get this evaluation from Valvera to start working in the field. So to be honest, I don't know, but maybe you can contact with the Doctors Without Borders or Valvera. Maybe it's really important, like to contact with the right people or the right organization, just to get advice, and you can get maybe some tips from them. Yeah, Simha, exactly. Yeah, Simha is like part of Metropolia University. Yeah, they have a program for highly educated immigrants. I think there is one lady here want to ask.
Yeah, my question was going to be related to matchmaking and like how you specifically match, but then I feel like it's more relevant to Think Africa, who is doing one-on-one matchmaking more than your programs apparently. So are you willing to explain a bit more your one-on-one matchmaking?
Yes. Well, with Think Africa, the matches are made primarily. We focus on mentees who are African, since they are our main customer, the customer.
Target
Thank you very much. Yes, target group. And after that, we also look at the mentors who are Africans, and then go according to chronological order who applied first and everything. Yeah. That's what I can say. I wish Sophia is not here at this moment. She might have had a better answer, since she's the one who's been doing it for the most.
You can postpone the answer.
Yes, you can get back to that.
Yes, I can also share. In our program, we also match mentees with mentors. And in our situation, we are inviting the immigrants. They can be international student, they can be maybe asylum seeker, they can be even a Finnish citizen who have like foreigner background, because we know also they say they have like the same challenge. Then based on the field of the mentors, we are matching the mentees with the mentors based on their background, so they can get really the best outcome. And that's why the selection is so difficult, especially the last program. We have 120 applicants and we have only 25 mentors. So it was so competitive to select the right candidate, the right mentor with the right mentees. But as I said, it's based on the background. When there's approximately 80 to 90% matching, then we can select the participant.
Regarding your question about Think Africa, when we started the program, we were also looking at the backgrounds and the fields and occupations and trying to match based on that. And we were just starting out, so nobody really knew about our program yet. So we were also like, when we were getting the applications for mentees, we were contacting people that we knew in those fields that the mentees were interested in, trying to get mentors in those fields to participate as well. So it went kind of like that. I don't know if you do something similar as well. So it might be that as a dentist, if you apply to a mentorship program, people who will review the application might then invite people from their networks to apply as mentors. So there might be a possibility, I guess, to find a mentor in such like specific occupations as well. But it's up to like luck, I guess, as well. And if there are willing people to do that.
One point also I want to share, that even the people who will not be selected, but they applied for the program, we can invite them for different career paths that belong to their background. So even if you are not selected, then you will be served in a different way.
Yeah. Any further questions? Okay. We could take all three questions and after that have the answers. So you can go first, then Ekaterina, then at the back. What's it?
All right. So besides the funding issue, which was brought up already here this evening, it seems that there is a whole different kind of a trend or a shift in paradigm coming from across the pond, meaning the US. And thanks to the ethos of the new Trump administration, it seems that many large corporations are actually altogether abandoning their diversity and equity and inclusion programs. And I would like to hear your thoughts on how you see this playing out here locally in Finland. Will it jeopardize the great work that small NGOs like Think Africa are doing for the Finnish employment market?
Thanks. You wanted to ask a question?
Yes, one person online is asking, what do mentors get out of these programs?
And then we'll take the third question, and then you can answer everything at the same time.
Thank you very much for your insightful. I have one question, and you've already mentioned like some of the answer to it, but having expectations set and goals and some boundaries between mentors and mentees. So my question is like based on your experience as Think Africa organizers, and also you could also answer from your experiences, what other pitfalls like mentors should avoid? Yeah.
Thanks. Who wants to go first?
Well, okay, I can start.
Here, the last question.
Yeah, no worries. I will start with your question. So, diversity is really essential for any society, and I think that's how these societies like really go through different decades of evolving and becoming like really very good communities. As example, America, it was built on immigrants. So basically, it has a lot of diversity, and this diversity has been reflected on the huge economical success in the United States. And same is applied here, I think. I think if the Finnish companies does not encourage diversity and inclusion for immigrants in their workforce, they are losing a lot. One of the examples that I can share, one of the mentor who was talking to me, he says that really when he was talking to the mentor, new ideas, when he was, talking to his mentees, new ideas, even commercial ideas can be like really initiate after this discussion. So this kind of discussion, this kind of collaboration, of supporting, also it pays back for the companies. And definitely I agree with you, it will jeopardize even the Finnish community if diversity, inclusion, or supporting these immigrant is not happening here, if I understand your question clearly. What was the second? Sorry, do you want to answer? Do you have?
Go ahead with you.
Yeah,
You can answer to all the questions.
Okay. The second question. Well, for the mentors, they will develop their skills, their communication skills. If they want to manage international team in the future, this is the best way to train yourself and really get experience. And as I said, the third thing is they can create new ideas, can bring like maybe new perspective for their life, even in their career. So that's what I think they will get. And the third question is about mentor or mentee?
Mentor.
As a mentor. As a mentor, I think the best thing for you is to set clear goals with your mentees at the beginning, in the first session. Then you can support the mentees in a really more professional way. Other than this, it might be go wild. It might be go like so vast and overwhelming, and then something will happen in the middle. There is a different expectation, and this is the worst case.
Thank you. Maybe I can start from the last question. I hope I heard it well, about the best thing to do for the mentor, right, to succeed in the or kind of
pitfalls to avoid.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in the Aurora's concept, when it's a group mentoring and several mentors working together for the same group, I would say that in our case, it's the group dynamic and creating mutual trust, respect, creating the group atmosphere and being taking into consideration every participant. So this kind of group dynamic is quite important, and I think also open and learning in a way. It's the mentors. Then I come to the second question, like how do mentors what do they get out of the mentorship programs? I think it's the learning process, what you also said, Arkan. Well, upskilling or updating your work life skills, getting or enlarging your networks, but also like learning these kind of skills that are important today in working life, like how do you work in or operate in diverse teams, communication, well, language awareness, these kind of things, like which are really crucial work-life skills today. So I think it's a mentorship program, a very concrete way to practice and get new insight into these kind of skills. And then about the DEI, I think, well, maybe I'm too optimistic or something, but I think we don't have any choice anymore. It's like the train has started, and you know, we have to move forward on that. And of course, there are the political atmosphere, global political atmosphere plays a big role. But I think that the work has already started, and it's I think it's going on. I don't see any that it would. There are always challenges, but there are also like when there's some kind of trend, some kind of ideology, then there's a counter ideology. So there's always this kind of dynamic. So I'm optimistic. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, exactly. It's a short time in humanity. Yes.
We may not have time for other questions if there are any, but do we have time for one quick question? Yeah.
My question is that I usually recommend to other people that I meet mentorship programs. My question is there a place where all the mentorship programs within Ultima can be found? Because some of them tell me, oh yeah, I know about this. And others are like, oh, I never heard about that. That sounds interesting. So is there any place that you can recommend where you say like, hey, go to this website or this platform? So people that I can recommend that are in my same situation, like unemployed and looking for a long time a job, a place where they can go and check all these programs of startup refugees, Aurora, Street and others.
Very good question.
You know,
Do you want to?
We hope that there's like, you know, such a platform so we can share not only the mentoring program, but all the opportunities, all the trainings that all the organization can do it in one place. But then it's need also like money, it's need cost, it need resources. And if the municipalities or maybe like they can take a role in hosting these and using one place, it will be like really good. But unfortunately not. We are using our social media, and I think all the organization, they are using either their website or the social media to communicate with their audience or their customers.
Perhaps asking some AI tool what are the mentorship programs in Helsinki might give some results.
But this is a good idea for the future. Now that's good.
Good idea.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, let's have more discussions now. Thank you for sharing your experience and insights and information about the programs. Really good to hear.
Thanks also I think Africa for hosting the event today, and thanks for the audience who attend. We hope that we did something like really useful to you.
Yeah, thanks for making it so far, and thanks to the online audience as well.